what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning into this week's Productive Agent Podcast. My name is Tony Ruiz, and I'm the founder and host of the Productive Agent Podcast and Facebook group. And today I'm joined by Mrs. Caroline Daly of Fidelity National Home Warranty. How are you doing, Caroline?
I'm doing great, Tony. I'm so excited to be here. This is awesome. It's great to spend some time with you and one-on-one and talk about home warranties. Who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah, well, exactly. And we bumped into each other, I guess it was like 2 weeks ago at Max and Louie's, I think it was.
We did, yes.
At Lattes and Lunches. What is it? Lattes and Listings.
Lattes and Listings, that's right.
Quick shout out for them. So check out Lattes and Listings on Facebook for sure.
Yes.
That's a cool event, and I feel like you're at all the events.
I'm glad that you feel that way.
Yeah.
I wish I could be at all the events.
Yeah.
I try to get out there as much as possible, but do as much best I could.
Sure. I remember meeting you in 2019 when I got into the business, and I was doing Rick Tankersley's trainings, and he was all over the place, and I didn't know who to turn to, and I was like, oh, well, we need a home warranty, and this is where you put the home warranty in the contract. And I was like, I only know one person, and she seems like a really nice lady, so I'm going to go with Caroline.
Well, great.
So,
I appreciate that. I've been doing this a long time, Tony, so I meet a lot of agents, and I hope to work with all of them. But
well, cool.
Yes.
When I first started this podcast, it was mainly geared towards helping agents grow their business, right? And then I kind of quickly realized, well, I have this platform that I can educate my clients and customers.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think this is one of those podcasts and episodes that it's like, hey, this can be applied to agents that don't have a home warranty person, right? Or don't know a whole lot about home warranty.
Right.
All right, we could educate them. Mm-hmm. We can educate our clients and our customers of like, hey, maybe I should have a home warranty. I had one my first year when I bought the house, but it expired. So we'll get more into that.
Sure,
Sound good?
Definitely.
Yeah, awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about how long have you been in the business?
I've been in the business 15 years.
Okay.
I started off as a loan officer.
Okay.
And I got laid off back in 2005 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of mine that I worked with, she got a job working for a title company.
Okay.
And then that title company laid her off. And then she went, and they said that, we have an opening at the home warranty company. So she went over to home warranties, and she says, oh my gosh, you've got to get a job doing this. It's a great position. And so she knew of another opening at a different home warranty company. So she and I were competitors for a while, and then our companies bought each other, and then we worked together. So
I can't remember her name.
Megan.
Yeah,
Megan Sanders.
Yeah, Megan Sanders.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Is she still doing it?
She is actually in title.
Okay, she's in title now.
She's in title now.
Okay.
Yes,
I haven't seen her around as much, but I remember y'all were always coming around together.
She moved out of town, so she's living outside of town now. So she's got another position. So yes.
Well, cool, awesome. So what did you do? We were talking and just catching up and getting to know each other a little bit better. What did you do before home warranty?
I worked in the loan industry, so I was a mortgage person. Okay. So I did anything from processing mortgages to selling mortgages. I was a wholesale lender, so what we would do is bring our products to the lenders and say, this is what we can do to help your clients. So that was kind of a great segue into what I do now.
Sure.
Because it opened me up to the real estate market. It opened me up to the industry as to how it works, and then how to help people along the way. And
there's so many moving parts in the real estate industry, right?
Really
and
is.
It's just like I got into real estate because I'm gonna be a realtor, and I've been doing it. It's like, oh, there's title, there's home warranty, there's lenders, there's inspections,
credit repair,
there's credit. It's like, oh,
appraisers, like all these things that you don't even think about that take
Yeah.
place. And it's kind of nice because realtors, I feel like you're like the captain of the ship. You've got all these moving parts on board, but yet you're steering people in the right direction to say, hey, you know what? We need to talk to the inspector, and these are the people that I use, and here's the lenders, and here are the people I use. So it's kind of great to work with a realtor when I know so many times people these days think, oh, I can do this myself.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the plug.
Yes, definitely.
But I agree. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts, and that's why it's important to connect with a professional,
Absolutely.
And just like, hey, this is because we do this day in, day out,
exactly.
right? We know that this is what goes here, this is how it goes, and there's a lot of things that just the normal public doesn't understand.
Right.
I didn't understand it before I got into
exactly.
it, and now I do.
Exactly. A lot more stuff to involved than you think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What would you say is your favorite thing about the business?
I I just love meeting people,
Yeah.
and then I love helping people.
Sure.
So if we can place somebody into a home warranty that helps them save money, that's what we're all about.
Sure.
And so it's great getting out there and meeting all the different types of realtors. You're one happy, gregarious guy that likes to come out and talk with people. And then there's others that don't come out of their offices, or maybe they work from home. So it's all different types of agents working with different types of people.
For sure.
And so it's great to meet all the different types.
Yeah. Well, you're one of those shining personalities that, lights up the room.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
yeah, appreciate what you do.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let's talk about home warranty. Let's get into some of the details. Like I said, if we got into every single thing, it would literally take us like 5 days.
Yes, for sure.
There's a lot. So talk us about home warranty. Why is it so important? A lot of people get that home warranty and they don't even know they had it because their agent just put it down and ordered it, and now they have a home warranty for the first year.
Right.
So,
so let's talk about home warranties. So first of all, in the contract, so if you're buying a home now, in the contracts, there's a spot in there on the contract to say how much the home warranty is going to be, if it's going to be paid for by the seller or not. And
Right.
if that's being negotiated, you're able to have some of that money or all of it go towards purchasing a home warranty. The seller usually pays for it, and probably about, I would say, 90% of the times it's negotiated in the contract.
Right.
And what it allows them to do is have a 1-year residential service contract. And what it consists of is 4 major systems in the home. So it's air conditioning, heating, plumbing, and electricity. All the built-in appliances in the kitchen. So you've got your stove, your dishwasher, your microwave, your disposal. You've got a hot water heater and a garage door opener. So those are the main components that are covered. And then you can add on a whole bunch of options. You could do pool, septic, well, second refrigerator, water softener, roof coverage.
Gotcha.
So all these additional items can get added on.
So you mentioned the contract and putting that in, and there's a spot in there. I don't remember exactly the paragraph. You probably know.
Paragraph 7H.
Of course you know. 7H, there you go. But if it's left blank, obviously that means the seller's not paying for it.
Right.
I guess if they, I think 700, sometimes I call you, I'm like, what's a good number to put there? So
Yes.
that's going to cover it, right?
Yes.
And I think it's about 700. We'll talk more about that. But if it was less than that, I guess the buyer can make up the difference.
Absolutely.
Is that
Yes.
something? And then obviously if it's blank and the seller's not paying for it, the buyer could pay for it as well.
Yes, and those are good questions because it's protecting a lot of people that are involved in the transaction. So it will protect the buyer for sure because they're going to get into this home that they know nothing about. They've had an inspection, but they really haven't lived in the home
Right.
like they would. And once they start living in the home, things happen to break. Normal wear and tear happens in homes.
Yep.
And that's where we come in to try to either repair it or replace it.
Okay.
The other thing, it protects the realtors. Sometimes your E&O insurance is tied to that home warranty contract, offering a home warranty to the buyer. I don't know if everyone knows that, but you should check into that
Yeah,
because
well,
a
we
lot
should
of
all check
times,
into that.
a lot of times, if you don't offer one, we've seen lawsuits happen within these last few years where the buyers are going back and suing their agents for not offering them a home warranty.
Wow.
And so if you are an agent and you offer them a home warranty and they decline it, have them sign something because it's so important to just show that. And I believe Rick Tankersley has taught me and many agents the 4 things that are asked for in a lawsuit. And I can't remember the other 3. But the last one is, was there a home warranty on the property?
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. I'll have to check.
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, cool. So a lot of people will go, well, why do I need a home warranty if I have a home insurance?
Okay,
And
great question.
So I have home insurance covering me. What's the point in paying another $700 a year
Right.
or whatever for a home warranty?
So home warranty covers the systems in the home versus homeowner's insurance. It covers more of the structural parts of the home. And let me give an example for that.
Okay.
So if your dishwasher broke and it flooded all over your nice new wood floors, you would have the home warranty to cover the dishwasher, that component of the home, and then the wood floors would be handled by the homeowner's insurance.
Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So mainly the home warranty is systems, is how we
Yes.
should think about
Yes.
it. Systems of the house
Yes.
is covered in that home warranty. Obviously, if you don't have a home warranty, you're paying that out of pocket, or I guess you could put that on your home insurance, but you're probably going to see
I don't think your homeowner's insurance would cover your air conditioning. If there was secondary damage from your air conditioning, like say it
Correct.
dripped into the walls and now the walls are all eroding and you need to have that all restructured or...
That's a good point. It's not going to be like, hey, my AC broke, cover it. And that's just normal wear and tear.
Right.
But a home warranty would kind of cover that.
We would cover the equipment for the air conditioning.
Right.
And then the homeowner's insurance would cover like refinishing the walls and getting that all fixed.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So that helps clear some things up. When I was thinking about bringing you on the show, I was like, I'm probably going to learn some things. And every time I interview somebody, no matter what, it's like, oh, I just learned something.
Right.
So,
And you know what, just to touch back on that a little bit, we actually have an option on our warranty that you can add. It's like $30, and what it does is it gives you coverage. So in case you had that happen, so say you needed to put in a claim with your homeowner's insurance, we for $30 you can get that option, and it covers up to $1,000 for your deductible towards your insurance. Nice. So it's a nice, and I did have somebody use it where they had that issue with the dishwasher happen and the wood floors.
There you go. Well, that's good to know.
Yes.
Well, cool. And so y'all have a couple different packages that y'all offer. There's a standard and a comprehensive. Can you kind of explain the difference of those?
Sure. The standard plan is for somebody that just wants to have some type of coverage where they are going to, it's not going to give them additional coverage like, for example, disposal of equipment. So if we came out there to take out their dishwasher or we may be taking out their AC equipment, they're going to get charged for that takeaway. But if they have that comprehensive plan, it covers a bunch of additional items. So it would cover springs and hinges on the garage door. It would cover these faucets and the shower heads and their sinks and showers and all these little things that add up, like the dishwasher racks, the plate inside the microwave oven, all these little things that add up to a lot for a lot less money. So it's about $100 more to get that additional plan. Okay. And it's worth it to start. So that plan starts at $620.
Is the which one? The comprehensive?
The comprehensive one.
Okay.
The standard plan starts at $510.
Okay.
And then the comprehensive starts at $620.
Okay.
We do have plans that add on washer, dryer, refrigerator. That starts at $715. And then we have what we call the Enhanced Plus plan. And that's that ultimate plan for people. It's for two people, I say. Someone that wants the most coverage and the least out-of-pocket costs. They want to get put in that $855 plan. That's how much it is, $855. And then it's also for the people that may be getting into a home where the AC is older and they know that it's going to need to be replaced in maybe that year or the next year, and it covers up to $1,250 of out-of-pocket expenses. So when we talk about what's not covered in a home warranty, some of the things that aren't covered are code violations. So when a tradesman comes out, so a plumber, electrician, or an HVAC person comes out to the property, they have to always bring that system up to code.
Right.
And so those code violations are not covered in the home warranty. And that's a misconception sometimes, that people expect us to cover that, and we don't. We cover more of the equipment and the installation.
Got it. But if it's out of code, so if they bought a house and the systems, break within that first year, and it's out of code, there's going to be some costs just to get it to code.
Exactly.
And then from there, probably the rest of it's kind of covered in some sort of way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Again, learning more. Talk to us a little bit about, and I think you've already kind of covered it, but I'm sure you could go more in depth a little bit, of what does a home warranty cover? What does it not cover? You mentioned the systems. What are some things that most people would say, oh, I thought that was covered, but it's not. And they should know hey, as I'm getting into this, don't expect these things to be covered.
Right. So again, we cover the equipment and the installation. So if we had to go out there and say we had to change out their hot water heater, and now the code, again, this goes back to these code violations, says that it has to have a certain type of piping there. That's not going to be covered. Maybe it has to now be 6 inches off the ground. That's not going to be covered. So little things that when we get out there to the property, we see maybe we're putting in they don't make the hot water heaters that fit into those little closets anymore. Now they're bigger. So now there has to be some kind of modification that's done to the property in order to fit these bigger water heaters, and that's not covered.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. It's a lot of case by case.
It's a lot of case by case. I mean, overall, we cover the equipment and the installation.
Right.
And we can always talk details if somebody has a question specific about their property. Many times I think people move into these homes and the inspector will come out and say everything's good, this is grandfathered, this is grandfathered, this is grandfathered. But when they get in the property and they have to replace or repair something, that's not grandfathered because it has to be brought up to code.
Gotcha. All right. So you talked a little bit about the costs, and if you could just kind of review those costs and those breakdowns, and then there's a service call fee. Is that correct?
That is correct. The service calls fee is $85 no matter which product you go with. So we start with our standard plan. It's $510. Our comprehensive plan is $620. Then we have the comprehensive plan with washer, dryer, refrigerator. That's $715. And then we have our Enhanced Plus plan, which is $855.
Got it.
And that's for 1 year term. We can also do a 13-month term for additional $30 on each plan.
So when they go in and make a claim, right, and then we'll come out and service that. They're looking at once it's already paid for. So like that seller paid for the first year.
Correct.
All right. It's like, okay, cool. I'm not anything out of pocket in that first year.
Right.
But if they come out and service, one more time, I missed that number, $85?
$85.
$85.
Yes.
All right. And then
so each time a different tradesman comes out, so if an HVAC person comes out, it's $85. If a plumber comes out, it's $85. If they had like multiple plumbing issues and they only had one plumber just come out and fix 3 different plumbing issues, $185 fee.
Got it. Okay. Each time a service call. All right. Sounds good. See, does the homeowner get to choose the company that does the work? I was looking at y'all's website and it talked about, you have licensed and certified services, but do y'all choose it or do they get to choose?
That's a great question. We choose.
Okay.
But there's a caveat there, so let me just talk a little bit about that. We have contracts with multiple vendors, but they're contracts. And what they do is they say, we're going to pay you the wholesale pricing based on working with us. And what I like about that is that we know these vendors, we vetted them, we make sure they have the correct amount of insurance. If we have a problem with them, we know the owners of the company, so we can call them up and be like, hey, you just sent out so-and-so to this one property and it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
We need to have a little conversation.
Sure.
We also have conversations where maybe we have someone that's pregnant in the home on a Friday afternoon with no AC for the whole weekend. We can call that vendor up and say, hey, you know what? We've got an issue here. Do you think you can get somebody out there today?
Yeah.
Because maybe it's the middle of summer and we're having multiple vendors backed up.
That brings up a great question. Typical turnaround as far as, we talked about it earlier before I think we started recording, but it's not an emergency type of thing.
We have emergency lines that they can call, but for emergency service, they need to call us and place a claim, or they can always go, we didn't talk about our great website.
We'll get to it for sure. Yeah.
But they can go onto our website, and that website they can place a service claim, and then they will be assigned a vendor right away. And if they want to call into our emergency line, we do have a 24/7 emergency hotline if they do need to call for, say, a plumbing issue or an AC issue where the water's leaking through the ceiling.
Okay.
Yes.
So it really, if they have a home warranty and it's active and all that, they should be going to y'all for the first line of hey, contact us, let's get this thing going.
And if they for some reason want to go and use their own vendor, we say, okay, you know what, it's Saturday night at 11 o'clock, we can't get somebody out there till Monday, they can go ahead and hire their own vendor, but they have to follow our guidelines. And we will send them the guidelines, and they just have to follow those.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Let's see. This came up. How long does it, and this, remind me, we're going to talk about the new build thing that you just mentioned.
Yes.
All right. But start with this one. How long does it take for the warranty to go into effect? Let's say we had a closing this past Friday. All right. Here we are Monday.
Yes.
How soon could they go, hey, we're noticing an issue?
Oh, they can put a claim right away.
Okay.
Right. What we do is we start at closing, and that's another thing that I'd like to point out to some of the agents out there. When your clients are doing their own research and finding these other companies, make sure that they're starting at closing, not 30 days later.
Got it.
Because if there's an issue that comes up, they may not be covered if they've chosen another company and they don't know when their start time is. The other thing is make sure they cover all the air conditioning units, because what we're finding is that sometimes these companies will only cover the primary AC unit. And if they have 2 units, which one's the primary? The one that didn't go out?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So so they have to, so we cover all units no matter how many. We don't even ask.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I had heard that come up at one point or another. It's like, well, we haven't, I guess, gotten paid from the title company, so we have to wait for the money to show up.
Right.
But pretty much what you're saying is Fidelity National, as soon as you close, you're covered.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. That's good to know as well. Let's talk a little bit about the new product that you mentioned
Yeah, the
with
new
the new build,
construction.
new
Yes,
construction, because I know
yes.
that's popular right now. You know, and new
Yes.
construction has all kinds of deals out there right now.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people are probably going that route. So
Exactly.
talk to us about that.
So it's a new construction home warranty product. And what it does is it takes over after the builder's warranty. So if the builder's warranty is up after year 1, we take over from years 2 through years 5. So it's a 4-year warranty, and it's about $700
Jeez,
for 4 years.
That's crazy.
And what's nice too about that is you can add on additional things. So if they have a pool with it, the pool's about $225 to add on. So it's be about $795. Well, usually I say to go with the $770 product, because that $770 comprehensive plan,
Yeah.
and you add on the pool, that would be $995 for 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. That's great.
Yes.
I like that one.
Yes.
So we'll have to put that in the toolbox.
Absolutely.
And make sure to
put it
talk
on
about
at closing. If you have somebody out there that has bought a new construction the last 6 months or so and they want to add this now, give me a call and we'd be happy to talk about it.
In the past 6 months, if you've closed.
Yes.
Okay. And then obviously going forward.
Right,
All right.
right,
But
for
it has
sure.
to be done within that first year.
Yes.
At least.
Yes.
Preferably
yes.
in the 6
Preferably
months.
at closing.
At closing. right, exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So there's a lot of homeowners that might be listening and they go, well, I've lived in my house for multiple years. I've just dealt with issues as they come up. Tell us why they should consider purchasing a home warranty now.
Yeah, absolutely. Our 2 biggest claims are air conditioning and hot water heater.
Okay.
So if they're having an older system or if they have an older hot water heater, they may want to consider it just to save them money. We require a 30-day waiting period for anyone that's been living in their home after 30 days. If they closed on the 1st and then it's the 31st day,
Right.
it would be a 30-day waiting period.
Okay.
If they just bought a house, we don't have a waiting period. But
Got it.
anybody that's been living in their property, it would be a 30-day waiting period before that home warranty would go into effect. So they
Gotcha.
would pay for it. Let's say they paid for it on November 1st. It would go into effect on December 1st until December 1st of 2024.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Just a way of extra protection.
Absolutely.
Saving money.
Saving money for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Very good. Anything else that we didn't necessarily cover that you want to make sure to mention?
Just don't have the expectation that we cover everything, because I think a lot of times people think, oh, everything's covered,
Right.
when it's not.
Right.
Sometimes I'll get calls for windows, and they're not covered. Sprinkler systems, we do not cover sprinkler systems.
Okay.
Some companies I think do, but I don't know if those companies are still in business. And that's another thing I want to mention. If we just go back and talk about the last few years with home warranty has struggled. It's really struggled. And the reason why it struggled is because sellers didn't have to pay for the warranty, so the agents weren't putting in the contracts to try to win these multiple offer situations.
Yep.
So what they did was they didn't put a home warranty in. So either the buyer didn't get one, and now we're seeing all these problems. But to go back to the home warranty industry, we weren't having any income come in because of the multiple offer situations and not having to have a home warranty in the contract. But we're also seeing everyone stay home, right? All of a sudden, everyone's home using their refrigerators and using their washing dryers, and they are using their air conditioning like they've never used in the past. So all of these claims are going up, right? So we're having no income come in, all these claims go up, and it was a little bit of a nightmare for a while. But we have the backing of Fidelity National Financial. Sure. So we are a strong company. We've been in business for over 30 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think you've seen some of these other companies not be around anymore.
Sure. Yeah, well, if you want to learn more, check out it's super easy website, homewarranty.com.
What is it, Tony?
Easy, homewarranty.com.
Homewarranty.com.
Real
Yes,
simple.
super easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So check out their website. It has a lot of great information. You can download the brochure depending on what state you live in. It's all right there. You can, read through it and go, this is covered, this is not covered, this is covered. But overall, the general idea of what's covered is the systems and
Correct.
installation of them.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Installation and repair or replacement of the systems.
Got it. So remember that when we're thinking about coverage. Fidelity National is a very strong business, so it's nationally covered. So it's not just here in Texas. But if you are in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, feel free to reach out to Caroline, visit her website. How could they get a hold of you?
They can contact me by calling me, 210-259-5798, or my email address is caroline.daly, which is spelled D-A-L-Y, at FNF, which stands for Fidelity National Financial.com. So caroline.daly at FNF.com.
Perfect. Well, that was great. I know I learned some stuff.
Great.
And I'll probably have to re-listen to this and be like, oh, what did you say about that? Oh, okay. I need to make sure I remember that.
Well, great.
But I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing some information about home warranties.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, share with a friend. Do you know somebody that's living in an older house with older systems? Share it with them as well and tell them, hey, you should consider getting a home warranty. Leave us a review. Give us a rating. That really helps us grow the show. Join us on our private Facebook group called The Productive Agents. And you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Make sure to subscribe there as well. And we thank you for joining us today. Now let's get out there and go.